Hello again and welcome to my channel Professor Learnwell. In the next set of videos we will be looking at the Year 2 Common Exception spelling words in a cursive, that's a joined writing style. Another term for common exception words are tricky words, keywords, high frequency irregular words, and you'll remember that our last videos were all for Year 1 of Key Stage 1, and so the next video starting today will be for Year 2. Here you can see a list of the 64 Year 2 common exception words that we'll be going through, and we'll be going through them in groups as regards the spelling patterns. Now, you might have heard of the term muscle memory. Muscle memory is thought to boost learning. Muscle memory, handwriting that is, in what I'm looking at today. And so I'm going to mention this before we start. As someone practices handwriting, creating these letters becomes more automatic, embedded and learned, and that's a form of muscle memory. Handwriting, reading and spelling link together. Handwriting activates the same regions of your brain used in reading. Practicing handwriting can strengthen these regions of your brain, making reading easier. When we use handwriting, we're training our muscle memory to remember the letter shapes, so eventually spelling will seem easier. It has been said that handwriting may help people with dyslexia. So individuals with dyslexia have a hard time reading and writing because their minds find it difficult to string together letters in the proper order. That's quite often the case. And using print or unjoined or precursive handwriting can make that more difficult, as the letters are all separate when they're not joined. Cursive or joined writing creates a longer string of letters connected as one common word, and this helps reading and writing through the memorization of these words as a whole, when written joined in cursive style. So using cursive handwriting to help spell builds stronger associations with common strings of letters rather than the individual letters themselves, which we looked at in our first few videos for Year 1, the different family groups of unjoined or printed letters. Certain common sounds in words, such as words ending in T-I-O-N, the shun sound, or the double vowel E-I, become more embedded, making them easier to remember and use when needed. Now, we'll make a start. Now, firstly, you might like to pause the video while you get some paper and a pen or pencil so that you can try some of these words with me. And it's often asked, what's the best way to hold a pen or pencil? Well, if we start off with a pencil pointing towards you like this, use two fingers to lift it up and your thumb, hold it like that, flick it back, and then hopefully be holding it like this. And that would be the right way to hold to write as neatly as possible. If you're using a handwriting pen, take the top off, face it towards you, and then with your thumb and two fingers, lift up, flick back with your other finger, and then hold it like this. Now, using a traditional handwriting pen as used in school, this won't really show up in the video. So in all my videos, I have been using a thicker point at the end, purely so it shows up. And the paper I'm using has wider space lines, purely shows up in the video. Right, let's make a start. Now, we're looking at the new curriculum spelling list for Year 2, the common exception words, and the first two words are door and paw, so you can see the spelling pattern involved. Right. Starting on the line as always, the letter D, round, up, almost the line above, back down, form the letter O, which should be the same size as the round part of the D, complete the circle, lead out to form another letter O, back on ourselves anti-clockwise, complete the circle to make the letter R, down, bounce back up, over to the right, hook or flick, lift, there's our lead out. There's the word door. Next word in the list is pour. On the line, up halfway, down below the line, back up, neatly on ourselves, round to the right, back to the start, lead out to the next letter, which in the pattern is O and O again. Complete the circle, lead out, complete the circle again, down, bounce back up, over to the right, lift or hook, and there we have that word there. The next two words are find and mind. So again, you can see the pattern. Starting with the F, which I personally don't go right to the top, but sometimes it is taught that way. So lead in, up, curve slightly to the left, straight down, vertically. Now curve to the left slightly, loop round, diagonally to the right, to make the letter I, up, down, form the letter N, and form the letter D. Back on ourselves, a bit like the letter O, up, back down, flick or hook, so there's our lead out, lift and dot the I. The word mind coming up, always starting on the line with lowercase letters. The letter M, down, bounce back up, curve to the right, down, bounce back up, over to the right, down, up, to form the letter I, down again, forming the letter N now, and make the letter D, curve round to the right, back, anti-clockwise on ourselves, up, almost touching the line above, but not quite, for reasons explained before, back down, hook or flick, that's our lead out, lift and dot the I. Now, our next word begins with the letter F, and it's the word floor, which is more in keeping with the group above of door and pour. So let's write this under pour. Lead in on the line, slightly to the right, curve left, down, past the line, loop to the left, diagonally to the right. We're going to form the letter L, up, down, is the letter O, get to that point, go back, round to the line, complete the circle, lead out, round to the right, but back on ourselves now, complete the circle, keeping all these O's and I's and N's the same height, floor, and lead out. Lift, there's nothing to cross or dot. Now, for example, the look, cover, write and check method. I add something in, I look and say the letters in my head, F-L-O-O-R, cover, repeat, F-L-O-O-R. Then, if you're at home, you could pause the video, have a go at writing it, and then what you'll need to do is then lift your hand and check that you spelt it right. So good luck with that. Our next word is the word because. Always starting on the line, up to the line above, don't quite touch it. Although you might be taught to touch it in your school, it depends on the school. Back down, bounce back up, but only halfway. A nice curve we form here, back to the start. Form the letter E. Just enough space. C. A bit like the letter O, except of course we don't complete the circle. The letter A. U. It's going to be a bit of a squash, I'm afraid. I'll do this one again in a moment. S and E. So I think it would be worth doing this again, as I haven't planned that well. So, because I didn't plan that. Right, on the line, up to the top, and this will be a good one for doing our look, cover, write and check. Bounce back up, round, and at this point, remember we are almost halfway to the top. Now I shouldn't let go here because this is cursive for join writing. E, C, a bit like the letter O as I mentioned before, back on ourselves, but we don't complete the circle. Instead we lead to the letter A, which again is a bit like forming letter O, but not quite, because this stays nice and round, but from here on it's a straight line up, back down on ourselves, the letter U, up, down, curve to the right, along the line, up, down, and here's the letter S coming up, there, curve to the left, back on ourselves, but at this point, snake to the right, back to here, lead out to the letter E. I expect you may have heard that one way of remembering the spelling of the word because is big elephants can always understand small elephants. Big elephants can always understand small elephants is a good way of remembering it. And there will be other ways too, using similar. So let's do look, cover, say the word in your mind, B, E, C, A, U, S, E. I think that's right. Now you might like to pause the video now, then you have a go at writing it. Lift and check. And I'm sure you got that right. But don't worry if you haven't, because muscle memory of writing, handwriting, cursive handwriting will help you remember and embed these letter patterns in your mind. Now, our next word is the word kind. For example, it was kind of you to remember my birthday. Lead in on the line, up, almost the line above, down, bounce back up, and if you remember from our earlier precursive, the letter K we do is like this. Maybe different in different schools, may not have this little round part here. Up, down, keeping to the same height for these lowercase letters. Here's our N, and here we have the letter D, over to the right, curve back, anti-clockwise, up, to the line above, back down again, and lead out, lift, and dot the I. Our next word in this pattern is behind. Now, I haven't room for it there, so I thought I had a bit better this time. So, the word behind. Up, down, up halfway, curve to the right, round, back to the beginning, lead to the E, up, down, bounce back up, curve to the right, forming the letter I now, which we'll dot later. So we want to not lift our pen from the paper at all while we're writing this. And finish with the letter D. We stop just there, back on ourselves, up, almost to the top, down, lead out with the hook or flick, lift and dot the I. Now, this is a good word for our look, cover, write and check method. So, if you want to pause the video, you can do this in a moment. So look, cover, say the words in your mind, B-E-H-I-N-D, write it down, look and check. Anyway, that's all we've got time for this particular video. So we've got through quite a lot, but there's an awful lot to get through still. I'll just show you the list of words again, the 64 words. So I've just done the ones along the top today. Door, pour, find, mind, floor, because, kind, behind. Quite a few more words to get through the next few videos. So I'll be doing less talking, but more writing. Anyway, thanks for listening and watching to this video. And we'll continue with Key Stage 1, Year 2, Common Exception Words in the next video. If you find this helpful, please do click like. I hope you've liked it. Please do subscribe to this channel, and then you should get notifications as we go along. Thanks again. Until next time.